It's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Well, yesterday morning, something very dangerous happened. Now, I've had this happen before, but it was never so severe as this, at least in about 45 years. So, God protected us, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. It has been so cold at night, really cold at night. And I'll back up a little. So Friday, I was super busy doing things inside because I've been working outside all during the week, and it was the day of preparation for Sabbath. So I stripped my bed, did 4 loads of laundry, cleaned the kitchen, cooked food for Friday and Saturday, as well as some other things. And I ran out of time to get my bed remade. Well, my 2 big German Shepherds sleep on the bed with me. And so, although I have a mattress cover on it, I didn't want to sleep on that mattress cover and have the dogs lay on that. That would kind of defeat the whole thing of clean sheets for me. So anyhow, I've been sleeping in the living room for a couple days, Friday night, and then I didn't get it done on Saturday either because, I'm not working on Saturday. So Saturday night, I was sleeping on the couch, and I was so tired. I had done a lot of wood again, and I was up way too late, about 4 o'clock in the morning, when I went back to sleep. And then so I loaded wood in the fire, wood stove again, and went back to sleep. About 5 o'clock, I woke up smelling something that smelled hot. That's not the smell you want to have. And so I looked over towards the wood stove, and the entire top part, probably down at least a foot and a half of the stovepipe, was glowing red. I had a raging flue fire. So I was told many years ago what to do for that. So I went to go do that because this was a bad one. I've had them before where they're just, a little bit of line, and you open up the damper so you can open the stove, and you throw some water in there. And then the steam from the water goes up the chimney, and that will put out your flue fire. So I ran in there, got some water in a pitcher, and not a lot, a little bit in a pitcher, and went to try to turn that damper, straight up and down so it was all the way open. It was so hot that I could not do it. So I had to go back into the kitchen, running, of course, and got a towel. And with the towel, I was able to open it, and I opened up the stove door and threw in that water, and something happened that has never happened before. It was so hot in there. Out of the door came flying a lot of ash and embers clear onto my wood floor, probably about 3.5, maybe 4 feet away. I've never had that happen before. So I ran, got some more water, threw that in, closed it all down, and the fire in the chimney was a little better, but it was still glowing red. So that took about 8 times to get that knocked down. Then I took my poker that I have for the wood stove to move the wood around, and I began hitting on the chimney. Not too hard. I don't want to knock the chimney out. And creosote was just falling like mad, which is a good thing. I don't want it in the stovepipe. But I just kept hitting it and hitting it. I'm guessing 15, 20 times, and it was just raining down hard. So I have to leave the dampers. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time remembering that word. The damper open so that it will fall down, because I have not had it open before, and then I could hardly get the damper opened, and that wasn't any good. So when I thought I was done, I went ahead and closed the damper again. The emergency seemed to be over, but I decided, just to give it a couple more whacks, which I did, and a little bit more creosote came. And I went to the restroom, which just took me, a minute and a half. When I got back in, the part of the pipe that goes from the stove up above the damper, because the damper's very low on the stove this time, was glowing red. And so I had yet another section of it on fire. So I quickly opened up the vent to throw in more water, and a lot of creosote came falling out of that. That creosote had been on fire still and had laid there for that, minute and a half. So after 2 or 3 more amounts of water, the fire was out. And I was thanking God for that, and thanking God that I was in the living room, not in my bedroom, where I wouldn't have smelled it as fast. I'm going to pause this because my dogs always have to sing to this. Okay, I'll pause it. Wow, they really react to my clock when it goes off, and they're so noisy. Well, anyhow, it was out, so I went upstairs because I needed to make sure. We have the double insulated pipe that goes through the whole upstairs part and out the roof. But I needed to go there and check for any fire that actually was in the structure. That's all boarded up there. And so I did not crawl through the opening at the far end to check. So instead I was sniffing that short wall there. And there was no smell of any smoke or anything. So we were good. It was strange because I had just told my friend last night, I have got to get the chimney swept. I know it's full of creosote. And she said, Maria, you already told me that at least 2 weeks ago. Well, it's pretty clean now. We did have a friend go upstairs, even though I'd knocked down so much. But going through 2 floors, I was thinking that the upstairs part, the part that the chimney brush can actually reach, might still be clear full. And so he got up on the roof. I would have done it before, but Jason does not want me to get up on the roof, so I don't. And maybe at my new age of 70, maybe I don't have any business on the roof. Not that I ever wanted to go before, but this was important to me. So as he was scraping it, of course we had the damper open again, and we were standing right there hardly any creosote came down. So evidently that fire burnt up most of it or loosened it so that it could fall in. There was so much in the wood stove. So we got the wood stove cleaned back out from all the ash and creosote. Have a clean pipe now, stove pipe. But if you have a stove, make sure and keep it up. This was a much stronger experience than I've had in, like I said, about 45 years. So I wasn't sure but what I was going to need to call the fire department. And I could have done that. I know that I could have done that. Even though they're very close, it would take them a little while to get here. So I was going to do what I could, what I knew to do first. Well, it's Maria praising God because he's so good. He had me sleeping in the living room, and he let me be able to get that fire out because someone, and I don't remember who it was when we first moved here, told me how to put out a flue fire. And I'm praising him for it. He is my protector. So I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house, out of your house, in the day and night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming. Okay. Have a wonderful day. I got to get outside and stack wood.